Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be showing you guys a full breach game with my commentary. Now, I'll be playing Nobushi on the attackers and kind of talking you guys through my thought process and hopefully helping you guys understand breach a little bit more. There will be more on the subject tomorrow or in 2 days on my channel with a big breach overview video that's coming, so stay tuned for that. But now we're going into the game. This is matchmaking. I am grouped up with Zero Crack and Clutchmeister, but we are not on comms, so the things I'll be saying should be applicable to all of you. So when it comes to the team compositions, of course people will be playing the new characters. I think there's a Tiandi, Shaolin and a Jungjun on the other team, plus a Raider. On our team we have a Nobushi as Berserker and 2 Jungjuns. As I said, we are playing on the attackers this game. And we're playing on the Viking map. So first of all I go to the side point. I have, right now I only have one perk, and it's the default perk that the game gave me, which is the one that makes you go a little bit quicker every time you respawn or get revived. I'm not sure if I'll be using that once I actually get all of my perks. I just couldn't be bothered so far to do it. But first of all, that makes it so that I will 100% be first to the side points, so that's nice. And second of all, if I'm solo queuing, which in this case I'm not, but I am not on comms, right? So I'm not sure where everyone will be going, and so I think the side points are extremely important. So I wanted to make sure that at least one of us, or I think in that case I had a teammate with me, at least one of us went there. So then I ended up being about 2 bars. I ended up having to go to heal, but my Jungjun healed, and he also got the defense buff, which spawns 30 seconds into the game, so that was good enough. And we lost a little bit of time here because we left the point alone, but we're still going to be okay. The Shaolin did a very long recovery attack for some reason, the side light out of key stance, so I just dodged it and got a guard break. You can always get a guard break on that. On top light the recovery of it is a lot better, but on side light it's very slow, so you can get a guard break every time. And so here I'm just trying to finish off a few minions. When it comes to my feed setup, by the way, I'm not changing anything from the minion to breach. And here I'm just trying to finish off a few minions, a few archers, as we have the momentum here right now, if that makes sense, right? So we killed 1 or 2 people, we took care of the point, we cleared it of enemy minions, and then we could go and, you know, push the advantage a little bit further. So my Jungjun teammate is right now, I think, killing the yeah, I think he's on the point number 3 right now, fighting someone 1v1, so he's pushing it very far. And while at the same time I went back to heal, I went back to finish off some people or fight a Jungjun, and now I get an execution on the officer. Usually you don't want to be doing those executions on the officers unless you don't have enough health, but this time I did have the health, so I think I just did to look at the execution because I really like that one. So again, just trying to kill a few minions, you know, with body count. They heal me a little bit, and they give me 12 renown, which is a huge deal. 12 renown for pikemen and 9 renown for every archer. So Nobushi's minion clear is very good. It's one of the best because she can safely do it thanks to her sidewinder, and 2 sidewinders kill 1 minion because minions have 46 health. And so because of that, you might be hit a few times, but you're not going to be hit nearly as much as other characters. So I like using just double sidewinder to clear. I think it's the best way to clear. There I got, I think, 6 or 8 minions, and that almost gave me like half a feed or something. So very important. In breach, basically, I would like to introduce you guys, I guess, to the concept of macro cycles from RTSs. Where I used to play StarCraft, right? And I was playing Zerg, which is a very macro heavy race. So what I would do is I would look at my base every 20 seconds. I would look at one part of the base, then I would look at some part of the map, and I would have that cycle, and then I would move my army around. I would scout, for example, right? And I would have that cycle in my head, and every 30-40 seconds I would just remember to do it, and I would do it. It would be muscle memory. So it's the same thing here pretty much in breach. Whatever your character's role is, just do that and try and cycle through through the things to do. Here, I went from helping on the side points, and once I helped that, and my team is now, I think my Junk John is going there, he's furthering the advance. Well, now I can focus more on mid, and so I cleared mid. I went to get the defense buff because I knew it would be up, and of course you can tell on the minimap that it's up. Then I went to get the flag, or maybe the other way around, I can't remember exactly. I put the flag in, and now I'm here to help my team. And I healed a little bit as well, and now I have, you know, 100, I don't know, 70, 80 health, whatever the defense buff is. So basically I had that macro cycle of, okay, mid, maybe the flag, maybe the defense buff, or checking if there's a buff, trying to heal off of the minions, or if that's not enough, trying to heal on the healing point, and then I can go and help my team. And of course this is not set in stone always, but it just depends on what's happening in the game. But this is a pretty simple macro cycle that allows me to always have something to do. Now I don't know how many times I'll be checking my scoreboard in this game, but I think I end up averaging in this phase I think about 150, 140 points a minute, which is a decent score, I would say. And that's just because I'm trying to maximize the amount of things I'm doing at all times, which is very vague, but I wanted to kind of help you guys with the mentality of it all. So as I said, I do not have any communication with my team. I cannot talk to them, tell them where I'm going, so we have to kind of understand each other without that, and kind of I have to play around my not knowing what my team is gonna do. So that's what I've been trying to do here. I get the kill. Yeah, I knew the kick was going to connect, because this is, you know, day 1 or day 2 of Breach and the new character, so people don't really know how to deal with some moves. Here the Raider is here. I don't really want to 1v1 him, but because there's a body, I do end up 1v1ing him, and of course now that I'm out of stamina, I just end up throwing a smoke bomb to cover up my out of stamina state. So usually if I knew that this Raider was really good, or if he could simply block and not attack too much against an Ibushi, and as a Raider, I would not fight him. But then my teammate came in, we finished him off, and I think there I was averaging 140 score a minute. So again, this is all just me trying to have something always to do. At every point in time I'm thinking, what can I do, what's the next step? So I get the attack buff, which by the way gives you more attack against the minions than it does against the pikemen than it does against people. Against people, it gives you a certain amount of a buff. If you want to know what exact amount, I don't want to tell you right now because I'm not exactly sure, but I will tell you guys in the next video, the Breach overview that I talked about a little bit earlier. But the pikemen, against the pikemen you deal 55% more damage. Against people you deal less than 55. So you can clear with attack buff, you can clear mid very, very easily. And then I ended up going in. I got a little bit cocky because at this point I had been doing very, very well. So I just wanted to kind of help my team, and I thought that my teammate would be able to survive, but of course there were 4 people there, so that's very difficult. I ended up going in, and I just wanted to fight, honestly. And because of that, my score per minute, for example, dropped. Right, that was not a good thing to do. But we've breached the gate. We are now in phase 2. Now, phase 2 opens up a lot of possibilities because you have everything that you already had in phase 1. So you have the side points, but now there's more of them, right? You have the boosts. But now they're more kind of split out. The phase 2 is bigger, right? So the boosts are obviously in the distances between the boosts are bigger, so it's more of a choice of where to go. There's a healing point, of course, as well, but now there's also a guardian. I'm pretty sure we end up killing the guardian once or twice this game, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. But this is like the most complex phase of the game, right? Phase 1 is kind of like a mini phase 2, and then phase 3 is completely different. Phase 3 is just kind of like team fights, having all your feats, trying to kind of use your feats in the best way possible. I think I probably end up getting revenge here. Oh no, it's this moment, right? Oh god, yeah. As I said earlier about people not knowing necessarily how to deal with certain things, I just missed up the parry timing for that. I remember thinking at that very moment, oh, I'm not gonna make a video out of that one, and then and then here we are. But obviously things happen. Very bad mistake, but yeah, it happens. Obviously, you know, give me a few days, it will never happen again. But I'm going to respawn. We had enough tickets to be able to, you know, afford a few stupid deaths. So here I'm not even trying to help my team. The guy is, you know, under 1 bar, so I just have to go take the healing point to make sure that everyone who needs health can go and heal without having to waste time. And now I think I decide to I decide to kill the minions and then go, I think, for the guardian. I think that's what I decided to do. So I get a little bit of yep, I got my tier 4. That's why I wanted to go for the minions, to be able to get my tier 4 before going for the guardian, and now I end up going for the guardian. I think one person comes with me to help me, which means we can melt him a lot quicker. By myself I can kill him, of course, as well, but it takes a long time. The guardian doesn't, by the way, you know, on heavy parries or whatever, he doesn't block, so you can just do top heavies on him, for example, if that's your most amount of damage. So we just try and melt him as quickly as possible. There's someone coming though, so that's why I use smoke bomb to kind of cover us up. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that I'm trying to like kill the guardian right now, you know, before the raider comes in or something with the smoke bomb, but the raider had to back off, and so we got a little bit more damage, and the raider is now 1 bar. Because he took damage from trying to run away from the smoke bomb. He took damage from the smoke bomb, from me, of course, or my Jungjun attacking him while he couldn't lock on. And now I think we finish off the guardian and we get boosts. Now the boosts that the guardian gives you are, number 1, he gives you 300 renown if you assisted a kill, and then he gives you 480 renown if you kill them. That's a lot of renown. That gives you an entire level, if not more sometimes. So that's very big. And it gives you all the boosts that the game offers in Breach. So it gives you sprint boost, it gives you attack buff, and it gives you the healing buff. All of these boosts are the same as the boosts that you can find around the map. And I end up dying here, of course, very, very poor play, but I'm not exactly here to talk about necessarily my like bad plays or my mistakes, like mechanically. I would rather talk about you know, the decision making and the thought that goes into Breach. So even after getting revived, you don't lose the guardian buff, but if you respawn, you do lose it. I am relatively sure. I'll make sure to test that once again, because I remember that being the case before, but that might have been changed. But 100% I know that if you get revived, you do not lose the guardian buff. Okay, so here I'm just fighting on the side point. Now I am on the side point because I ended up, of course, going here after getting the guardian buff. Basically, the moment you get the guardian buff, especially if it's given to you and your team, if it's not just you, that's the moment for you to go. You have a huge advantage at that moment. Very, very big advantage, because you have way more damage output. People cannot run away from you because you're so quick. Right, you cannot die almost because of how, of course I died, but you cannot really die if you're playing correctly, because on top of all your feats that you already have at this point, you also have so much more health with the defense buff. So you cannot, you know, you have such a huge advantage that you have to do something with it, right? And so usually what that means is you try and hunt down anyone who's close by, any of the opponents who are close by, who may possibly have been trying to steal the guardian kill over mid, for example, or something like that. And then you go to the side point. So you make sure that mid is yours, you clear mid, and you go to the side point. Those are the two most important parts of what you want to do. At least what I found is the best after getting the guardian buff. Of course, no one will be at, you know, if the enemy team knows what they're doing, they will not be fighting you. Oh, there I messed up. I'm not sure why I went for the parry, but they will not be trying to fight you in a big team fight, but once you have the Guardian buff, of course. And also, one more thing about the Guardian buff before I finish talking about it, is that it gives the effects to everyone who's nearby. So everyone within, I think, 15 meters, every one of your teammates is going to get the Guardian buff, even if they did not touch the Guardian. They just have to be close by. I think 15 meters is what is the range. So basically, just have to be near the vicinity of the Guardian to be able to get the buffs, and you don't even have to attack him again. So I got the flag. The flag basically means that the ram can take one more hit from the cauldron. And for the defenders, the flag means that the gate can take one more hit from the ram. So basically, that's how they're balancing it. And when it comes to the flags, they spawn 3 minutes into a phase, and then after that they spawn 4 minutes after being used. So at like 10 minutes 40, 10 minutes 50, we're going to be able to have the flag again, but at that point we're probably going to be either close to phase 3 or at least not needing it anymore, because we're at, of course, there's such a huge advantage in this game. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using smoke bomb here, it's because smoke bomb makes it so that the minions don't attack me. They cannot attack me because they cannot see me, right? They cannot. It works on minions as well in the way that they cannot quote unquote lock on, and so I am completely safe. And also, one more thing about minions. Minions, or pikemen as they're called in this mode, they first lock on to other minions, then they lock onto the ram, or they attack. First they aggro, let's say, I guess that would be the better word to word it. First they aggro onto other minions, then they aggro onto the ram, and then they aggro to the players. So if there's no minions around and there is no ram, they will attack the players. However, if that's not the case, for example, if there's a few minions, they will attack the minions first and then attack you. That's how they work. So here you can see that I literally are not in VC or not in comms, because I think you'll see me poking or pinging for help here, or to go to the Guardian, because I don't want just myself to have the Guardian buff. I want my entire team to have it. Yeah, I think I say go to the Guardian now, but I end up having just killing him up by myself, because I feel like if I leave and someone just randomly comes in, well, they're just gonna get the Guardian. Of course, the Guardian does respawn health, or he regains health if you just leave him. You have to leave his building, let's say, then he gains health back. But I wasn't gonna risk it, right? So I ended up wanting to kill him, and I think that's what I did. There I messed up a dodge, but of course I have all my feats. They have really low cooldown, so I can just use them even against the Guardian. And I'm doing it mostly for the buff, honestly, and for the renown is not the most important, but I'm doing it for the buff, and something that I'm sure many of you who play MOBAs are familiar with denying. I'm trying to deny, on top of being able to get the boosts, I'm also trying to deny the other team from being able to get the Guardian, because the Guardian is a huge deal, right? So I don't want the other team to get him. So I end up killing him by myself, getting all the boosts, and I'm pretty sure I don't even make a very good use of them. I'm pretty sure I just die or something like that. But the most important part is that I denied them a way to come back. If they get all the buffs, right? If they get all the buffs from the Guardian, and even if 3 or 4 people on the 3 people on their team, not even 4, get it, that's a huge change. And that means that they might be able to win a fight, maybe even win 2 fights or something like that. And that again means that they can come back. They can make sure that we cannot take their archer points. They can take mid, and so they're very then from us being very far ahead and having 30 tickets, it can mean, for example, us having 20 tickets and them just not dying, and them having the side points, and them having or at least controlling some of the side points that they can control, and them having mid. So I guess I'm just saying why the Guardian buff is so important again. So I died, of course, not making the best use of it, of the Guardian buff, but as I said already, I feel like I did a good enough job by simply denying the other team the possibility of getting it. So now I have the attack buff. I did a lot of damage while also letting my teammate heal. Did a lot of damage to the to the Shaolin, and now we're just fighting. The gate is heavily damaged, which is the most important part. We probably shouldn't be here because this is a 1v3, but there is also on the Shaolin is also coming back actually. So now it's a 2v3, and now it's again 1v3. We finish him off. We can go heal really quickly, get the healing zone. And in phase 2 there's so much more to do that the macro cycles kind of change, but they still do exist. Something like controlling mid, going to check up on the Guardian, going to the side lanes, trying to get as many Vs as possible, going to the healing point so that we have it at all times, going to I don't know where, going to the side points. Of course, the side points are very, very important in phase 2. They are messed up at dodge, but at this point I was we were so far ahead, and I had the my tier 4 feet ready to use. So I'm not sure if we end up killing him. Yeah, I think we do. My teammate even got an execution so he could heal, and at this point, yeah, I'm 2 bars, so we're going into phase 3. Now in phase 3 we got 10 minutes, we got 33 tickets. Of course we're way far ahead. I don't think any of us are really sweating at this point. But I do want to kind of emphasize the importance of time. If we had 30 tickets left, but there was like 4 minutes, we would actually be in trouble. Because it doesn't matter that we can die 20 times, or that all of us can die like 5 times each, if every time we die for 30 seconds anyway. So we can honestly maybe die once, maybe twice if we're very lucky, or if we die super quickly, and then the game is over, right? So because we had 10 minutes, now that means we have all the time in the world. I'm not even sweating, I'm not even going to the king right now. I'm just, slowly getting all the boosts. I'm, still not going to the king right now. I'm just killing the minions, getting some renown for them. Although of course I didn't need renown. At this point I have all my feats, but just getting more score, but also very importantly, clearing my minions way to be able to go to the king and actually deal some damage to him or just annoy him. So this is just a fight. I'm not going to be talking too much about this one, but I want to talk about phase 3 and the importance of the 8th point. So 8, as you can see there on the screen on the left, is the last side point. There's only one side point on phase 3, and that is where the archers are. That's where the captain is, of course. And the archers are important because the archers make it so that you have or don't have mid. If you just leave mid alone and you don't have the side point, you are going to lose mid the entire time, right? Your minions will be losing mid. And so that means that every time you don't have the healing point, you don't have the archer point, you have to be actively in mid with at least one person. And so that means your healing, that means your, well, of course, the control of the healing zone is worse. Your team fights are worse because you have one less person. Or you constrive to only one specific place to fight in those team fights. And so it is extremely important to have the side point. And also, if you have the side point as the attacker, and you have minions, your own minions, all on the other side, all on the king actually comes up to them, and so that means that then you can attack them with the ballista, which is actually really important because the ballista is very annoying in phase 3 as well. So yeah, this was a little bit of a stomp, but I do think I still could show you guys some interesting parts of Breach, and maybe some maybe strategies you didn't quite think of, or maybe some things you didn't quite think of, as it is a rather complicated mode and it's only been out for 2 or 3 days at the time of me uploading this video. So I hope I helped you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you like this type of content, and see you guys next time.